A gun is a coward's weapon, a liar's weapon. We kill too often because we've made it easy, too easy, sparing ourselves the mess and the work.
You should leave, Slade, Batman says. This is no concern of yours. I wish I could, Batman, Slade Wilson, also known as Deathstroke, stress, but the clown pays too well. And Deathstroke produces a sword and he rushes against Batman, and here we see a master combatant fight. Something that has been missing in every single Batman movie, and don't even give me the bullshit of The Dark Bitch Rises where him versus Bane. That was not a master combat fight. That was that jackass taking a telegraphed haymakers and throwing them at Bane at a very slow, at the quarter of the speed. So here we see Batman deflecting and parrying the blows from Deathstroke's blade by his gauntlets, but yet he's at a disadvantage, and Deathstroke forces him back with a push kick. And here Deathstroke says, "Oh, you're good, Batman, but you're only a man, and I am something more." And he says this because Deathstroke, as we know, has enhanced abilities, enhanced senses, and enhanced reflexes, whereas Batman is just a man. But Batman, though, produces these two giant sharp razor batarangs, and he says, "Show me." And then they go at it again. Master combatants fighting, but this time Batman has the advantage, deflecting his blade, stabbing him in the leg. Deathstroke gets more reckless and more crazy, knocks out the batarangs, and he thrusts his blade into Batman's gauntlets, which Batman easily breaks. So now it's a hand-to-hand fight. And this one where Batman once again starts owning him and he throws him to the floor. "It's over, Deathstroke," he says. "I don't think so," Deathstroke says, and he finds the broken hilt of the broken sword and he rushes and he stabs Batman on the side. Now Batman falls to the floor and now Deathstroke is upon him, full mount, starts raining punches on him. "This is my arena, Batman," Deathstroke says, and he goes to punch him again. And then Batman catches his fist from the floor and he gets him in an arm bar. "You're wrong, Slade," Batman says. "This is an operating table." And he breaks Slade's arm. "And I'm the surgeon." So then he knocks out Slade Wilson, aka Deathstroke, after an intense duel, a one-on-one, hand-to-hand, gritty, brutal fight. And then he moves on forward in pursuit of the Joker. And he learns now that Alfred has gotten back into the system of Arkham, and he initiates a lockdown because Joker's not going anywhere. But before he does that, he checks on the hostages and he checks on the dead one as well. And then here we see Harley Quinn trying to sneak up on him with her mallet. But then Batman spots her and she drops the mallet. "Is this what you wanted, Harley? Lives have been lost." And Harley says, "He's just not my puddin' anymore. I don't know who he is." Something like that. And she runs away. So Batman learns from Alfred that Joker has not left the asylum, but he is in his own old section where they housed the Joker whenever he would be imprisoned in Arkham Asylum. So he rushes over there, and what he finds is this grotesque setting where Joker has remade his area into this crazy funhouse full of crudely made clown faces, funhouse mirrors. So Batman navigates through it and he just hears the Joker cackling and laughing. "Takes you back to the old days, doesn't it?" Joker says from somewhere in the room. "I'd act up and you'd bonk me on the head and send me here for rehabilitation." "You're playing the wrong game, Joker, the old game," Batman says. "Tonight, I'm taking no prisoners. Tonight, there's nothing wrong with you that I can't fix with my own hands." That's the spirit. And Joker crashes through the mirror and stabs Batman in the shoulder, driving him back. And then Joker produces his handgun and starts to wildly shoot in Batman's direction. Batman is able to use his surroundings for cover and duck and dodge, and Joker ends up chasing his shadow, just shooting wildly. Finally, Batman gets out of his hiding place and slowly walks towards the Joker. The Joker cocks his gun and squeezes the trigger and nothing comes out. That's right, Joker. Waste those bullets, Batman says as he had been counting the bullets that were in Joker's gun. And then Batman proceeds to smash his fist into the Joker's face, smashing his grills again, and proceeds to really beat the shit out of him that culminates in Batman smashing and breaking Joker's kneecap and pinning him against the wall. "You finally gonna do it?" Joker says, and Batman has his hands ready. He's squeezing his throat again, and he's starting to choke him. But there's a slight hesitation. "Perhaps you need a little incentive," Joker says, and he produces a knife from his sleeve, and he proceeds to continuously stab Batman in the chest. Batman then grabs the Joker's neck and jaw and twists, but then finally, before he can break his neck for good, Batman changes his mind and thrusts his elbow into Joker's collarbone, shattering his collarbone and thus rendering him immobile. Batman then collapses next to the Joker, leaning against the wall. "Oh, my sweet, I'm so disappointed. The moment was perfect. Yet, even now you didn't have the nerve. That's why you've never defeated crime." Then Batman steadies his breathing. He turns to Joker and he says, "I defeat crime every night, Joker." So we see Batman dragging out an unconscious Joker into the main lobby of Arkham Asylum before the police have even entered. And out pops Killer Croc again. "I followed your scent, Batman," he says. But before he can even pounce, he gets knocked out by an Eskrima stick, and out jumps Nightwing. He says, "Oh, Alfred's called and said you might need help." When Batman, with a little comment, says, "You're late, as usual." And so then that's when the police descend and they retake the asylum. One of the final scenes I want from the movie to be is when a heavily bandaged Bruce Wayne, because he went through a terrible night, is once again standing in front of the grave of his parents with Alfred and Dick Grayson, Nightwing, there as well. And he says to them, as well as his parents, Joker questioned whether all I had been doing had been worth it, whether I had made any difference. But I made a vow. I fight for families because I lost mine. And I fight for my family, which is Alfred and the Nightwing. And because of that, I will never fail this city. And we close. So that was my Batman solo movie pitch, where we find Batman first on the streets of Gotham. And then we find him in the halls of Arkham Asylum taking on some of his baddies, with Joker pulling the strings, trying to show Batman in their final battle in Joker's mind that all of this had been for naught, that Batman's career had been a joke. And yet he could not break Batman in the end. Definitely wounded him, could not break him. And I really want to incorporate lots of the different facets and characteristics of Batman in the movie that make him unique, that make him great, that make him a badass, with lots of action, with him being a master detective, master combatant, very resourceful, using all of his gadgets. And I really hope that you are now hyped up for this Batman movie, and I hope that at least some of you want to see my version of the solo Batman movie. And I know what you'll say, this is just a pitch, okay? Of course it needs rewrites, it needs to be cleaned up, dialogue needs to be cleaned up, some of the transition scenes needs to be beefed up. I know all this. Just a pitch, okay? So get off my nutsack. So that wraps up another fine episode of the Comic Man Show, if I do say so myself. And you can find all my contact information at the end of this episode. And I highly encourage all of you to check out this Facebook page called Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope. It is full of great positive posts about the DC universe. It is awesome. There's a lot of stuff to check out there and read there. So I highly encourage all of you to check it out. And until next time, this is the Comic Man signing off.